People have this ignorance about the dark side of our past. It's as if the British were always on the side of the angels, and you're never told that the British, in fact, invented and codified scientific racism. In other parts of the world, there are many other countries where people look with extreme anger at what the British did to their countries in the past, and perhaps nowhere more is this the case than India. And there is, I think, a growing anger rather than a lessening anger, oddly enough, at the way that Britain looted India over a period of 300 years. The fact is that the British in India committed hundreds of very, very serious atrocities that today would be regarded as major human rights violations. And we need to know this in this country. We need to understand how the rest of the world sees us, as Robbie Burns put it, to see ourselves as others see us. I think that the British are, by and large, completely unaware of what they've done in the rest of the world. And I actually think this is positively damaging, day by day, our relations with the rest of the world. And I really feel this is a major problem with British foreign policy at the moment, that people have this ignorance about the dark side of our past. It's as if the British were always on the side of the angels. They've always fought racism, they fought the Nazis, they got rid of slavery. And you're never told that the British, in fact, in many ways, sort of invented and codified scientific racism. There's a lot of measuring of skulls and measuring of noses, and the whole British dominance with the plantation slave system. But in India in particular, there are horrific stories coming out of particularly the company period. One story I talk about in the book is the 1770 Bengal famine, when 1 million Bengalis die without a single soup kitchen being set up by the East India Company, which now controls that area of India. And when the news comes back to London that by force the company has managed to maintain land revenues at the pre-famine rates. In other words, they've extracted as much tax from the people during a time of famine as they would have done during a time of plenty, that the investors in the company vote themselves an increased dividend from 10% to 12.5%. I think that Britain's misplaced nostalgia for its imperial past is one of the reasons why Britain seems to believe that it can survive without any allies or friends post-Brexit, that we can just abandon our geographical place on the edge of Europe and imagine that we're some sort of free trading port, like some sort of slightly larger version of Singapore. To my mind, that goes against the whole of history, and the idea that we can somehow appeal to the Commonwealth and expect countries like India to suddenly embrace us and give us special trade deals has already been disproved by the failure of the Tory government to do trade deals with anything except, I think, Papua New Guinea and maybe a couple of other very small and minor countries. I think we're in serious trouble. The comparison, obviously, is with Germany. The Germans have confronted the horrors in their past. German children coming out of their education system are taught every detail about the Holocaust, and they know what they've done. Which is why, in a sense, Germans can go out now into the world without that baggage, because they've, in a sense, faced it, they've learned about it, and they can now move on. It's just not the case with Britain. With Britain, we don't understand our past. We don't know about it. We're just plain ignorant about it. And until we reach that point where we can go out knowing what we've done, apologise where we need to apologise, and make up for what we've done. Only then, I think, can Britain really take its place in the world with ease.